Hi, everybody. Um, Welcome back. Hope everybody's doing okay. Um, the theme of today's video is a question. Is time running out? Is time running out? That's kind of what it feels like to me today. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I got up this morning. I was tired. Well, every morning I'm tired. Well, I always say that. I was to meet a friend, a friend of mine, for lunch at 1 o'clock at a restaurant very close by. Really nice breakfast place. If you're in Philadelphia ever, it's called Winkle. It's very, very good. Anyway, we met there at 1 o'clock, and I hadn't seen him in quite some time. Maybe over a month. Easily over a month. And so one of the things in my mind when we got together was I'm going to have to tell him about my prognosis from when I talked to the palliative care doctor, because he didn't know about that. So we chit-chatted. He lives a block away, so I went by his place, and then we walked the block to the restaurant and chit-chatted about, this and that. Hadn't seen each other for a while, and sat down and ordered and all that stuff. In the meantime, I'm thinking, okay, when am I going to do it? And one of the things I noticed, because this is part of why I feel what I feel today, one of the things I noticed is that he seemed to be having a hard time hearing me. I'm talking as I usually do in my mind, and but he was, really listening hard, and so I tried talking a little louder, which in my mind I'm hearable, but I guess perhaps in others' ears I'm not. And I can't keep my voice up for a long period of time because I get short of breath and tired. So anyway, we were having breakfast, and finally I just, talked to him. I said, what? Oh, he asked me about my doctor's appointments last week, and so that's when I told him. And I can't say he wasn't real surprised. Could tell felt sad, a little uncomfortable, but not surprised. And then we ate our meal, and then he walked me back to my building, and we have a beautiful, beautiful garden. It's an outside garden, but it's enclosed within our building. It's like surrounds the garden, and it's just absolutely lovely and beautiful. So I said, he hadn't seen it since spring. I said, well, come on back and we'll sit in the garden and talk for a while more. So he came back and showed him around the garden, and then we sat down for a little bit to talk. And once again, I saw him leaning in so he could hear me. By that point, I realized that I probably was talking low, and I was tired, and I didn't have the energy or the breath to talk any louder. So we chatted for a while, and then I started feeling really tired, like I'm really tired. and it was going on nap time, so to speak. It was going on 2:30, and I was just tired, and I thought, it's time for him to go, in my mind. Not that I wanted him to, but just like I have to rest. So fortunately, either he was ready to go or he caught on, and he said he had to get going. So he left. Then I had to go and pick up my new medication, my new prescription, the pain medicine. Came back, which is just literally on the first floor of my building. I came back in, came upstairs, and brushed my teeth, and I went and laid down. And so I was with Michael from 1 o'clock till 2:30, hour and a half. And it felt like hours, hours and hours and hours. I was so tired, physically and mentally. And an hour and a half. Yeah. That's about all I've got in me anymore. An hour and a half a day. That's it. The rest is rest time. I don't have to be sleeping, but it's rest time. Quiet time, rest time. So I took the new medicine, the new dosage, and laid down, and I didn't feel much difference, if any. And maybe it just has to, be more than one dose. I don't know. It's every 8 hours, so it may just be that it has to build up in my system. But I was hoping that it would make a difference. And I have to say, as of right this moment, it hasn't, but it's probably too soon to tell. Anyway, and then at 6 o'clock, as I often do, I went upstairs on the deck, met a neighbor of mine. We sit and read a little bit, and we meditate for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And it's just so lovely. It's beautiful weather out now for the first time all summer. For the first time all summer, it feels like actual summer and not hell, which is what it's felt like all of June, July, and the beginning of August. This felt like actually like summer that I knew growing up. So we're talking, and again, he's like this, so he can hear me. So, and it happened another time today with another neighbor. He couldn't hear me. In fact, 2 other times. Now how they think about it. So I'm realizing that I'm losing the power, the volume in my voice, which does happen even under normal circumstances, just, when I'm tired. But now, since I'm tired, like exhausted all the time, my voice level is low all the time. Like I have to turn my pad up here to high voice, high volume, for you to be able to hear me. If I have it on a sort of medium volume, I was realizing I'm barely audible. So it's turned up all the way. I thought it was a problem with this, not me. Of course it's not me, but it is me. And then I went down to get my mail afterwards, and sometimes people come around around 7 o'clock down in the garden and sit and chat and talk, and they bring their dogs out, and it's kind of a little social time. And it was about 7:15, 10 to 7 when I went down to get my mail, and I was like, I don't have it in me to just wait 10 more minutes till they all come down. I don't have it. I spent all my energy already today. So I came back up, had something to drink, watched the show on TV, and here I am. And I don't know how. I don't know. It feels like everything's moving along a little quicker. Next week Pam comes, and my thought is, what will happen when she's come and gone? I don't know, because there's nothing else I have to do to get ready to die. There's nothing else I have to do. Nothing. No. I'll have crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's after Pam's visit. So who knows? We'll see. But right now, this moment, I'm really feeling tired and really feeling no energy, and the pain. Yeah, that's what's happening today. I think that's it. So, sometimes it's like, what is there to say? What is there to talk about that someone else might have any interest in? I've talked about some part of my early life, and bits and pieces along the way about my nursing, about acting. I don't know. I don't know how much of my own personal life I need to talk about or want to, and not because I'm afraid of sharing it, but I don't know if it would be of any interest. I don't know. I've liked my life for the most part. It's been hard. It's been really hard in a lot of ways. As many people, we all have hard lives in many ways. We all do. I'm not saying mine's been harder than anybody else's. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. I don't know. I'm not worried about measuring it. But the point for me is, it's not been an easy life, that's for sure. But I don't regret any of it. This is what I always think to myself. I have had an interesting life. Interesting to me. It's been like reading a book, and get to the end of a chapter, and I look forward to reading the next chapter because I want to see what happens next. I always want to see what happens next. That's a better way to put it. Even if what's going on now isn't terrific, isn't great, I'm interested in what comes next. What's going to happen in the world next? What's going to happen with my friends or family next? What am I going to discover or get interested in next? That's kind of how I've lived a lot of my life, is just looking forward to next. Just to see, because of curiosity, that's all. So that's where, now that's where we're at. And it'll be, for as long as I'm still living, it'll be like, okay, What happens next? What's the next day going to bring? And then in the process of dying, actually dying, actively dying, as they call it. I'm curious what that's going to be like. You know, when you sleep almost all the time, you may wake up now and again, and then you pretty much stop eating and stop taking fluids, and then you go unconscious for a day, 2, 3 days. I want to know what's going on, and I'm wondering if I'll be able to have any consciousness of what's going on. So I have all those questions, and I'm curious. I really am. So I wish there was a way I could come back and tell you, but we'll all get our own chance to do so. We're all going to do the same thing. So anyway, that's it. Wishing the best for everyone. Wishing that everyone is free from suffering. Is feeling joy, some happiness, and yeah, wishing the best. And again, thank you for listening, and I really appreciate it.